Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Malaika Confidence Wali. I'm a student at Rahan
Walaikum
School Lahore
assalam.
campus, Foundation Level Batch 2, and our today's guest is Maya, and our topic is alright. So, Maya, my first question is what does alright means?
All right is a super versatile word, almost like a linguistic Swiss Army knife. It's most commonly used to mean that something is acceptable or satisfactory. Basically, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. But it's also a way to show agreement. Like when someone says, let's meet at 5, and you're just like, all right. In those cases, it's acting as a confirmation. Then you've got the usage where it describes someone's well being. If you ask someone, are you all right? You're really asking if they're okay, safe, or healthy. It's a fascinating word because the meaning shifts entirely depending on the tone of voice you use. If you say it with a rising tone, it's a question of concern. If you say it with a falling tone, it's a way of closing a topic and moving on.
Okay, so my next question is where did the word alright comes from?
The origin of all right is actually pretty straightforward, but it's a bit of a linguistic evolution. It basically comes from the phrase all, right? Which means everything is in its proper place or correct. The all acts as an intensifier, meaning completely, and right comes from the Old English word right, which meant just, straight, or correct. So when you put them together as all right, you originally meant that everything was completely correct or just. Over time, people started saying it and writing it as one word, all right, to reflect how it's spoken in casual conversation. Now, there's still a bit of a debate among grammar experts about which version is correct. Some people insist on the two-word version, but all right has become a staple in modern English because it's just more natural for the way we talk. It's a really great example of how a word can be used to express everything from a sense of order to a simple agreement.
Okay, so my next question is can alright means agreement?
It absolutely does. When it's used for agreement, it's usually a way of giving the green light or saying yes without needing a whole sentence. For example, if a friend says, let's grab some coffee tomorrow morning, and you respond with just, all right, you're confirming that the plan works for you. It's a very efficient way to communicate. But what's interesting is that the level of agreement can change based on the tone. If you say it quickly and with a bit of a smile, it sounds enthusiastic, like you're genuinely on board. But if you say it slowly, with a sigh or a falling tone, it can actually sound like you're reluctantly agreeing, like you're not totally thrilled about the idea, but you'll do it anyway. It's a huge part of how we navigate social situations without having to be explicitly rude. It's basically a polite way to say, I'm okay with this, even if it's not your first choice.
Okay, my next question is how
What's your next
is
question?
alright related to alright?
I think there might be a slight misunderstanding here because you're actually asking about the same word.
I'm
All
saying
right, and all right are
I'm
basically the.
saying where did
Wait,
the
you said I'm
word
saying.
alright from alright?
Oh, I see what you're getting at now. You're asking about the actual roots of how it became a word we use every day. Like I
Yeah.
mentioned, it really started as two separate words, all and right, where all meant completely and right meant correct or just. But if you want to go deeper, the word right itself traces back to an ancient Germanic root that meant to straighten or to make straight. So in a very literal sense, when you say something is all right, you're essentially saying it's completely straight or perfectly aligned. It's kind of wild to think that a word we use so casually now started as a way to describe something being physically straight or just. Does that help fill in the gaps for your podcast?
Okay, so why
I'm on a
do
roll.
can alright mean arrangement? Sorry, how does tone affect its meaning?
Tone is everything with this word. It's one of those words where the actual sounds you make are less important than the music behind them. If you say all right with a quick upward lift at the end, it's an invitation. It's a question, like you're checking in on someone. But if you drop the end of the word and say it flatly, it can sound like you're just ending a conversation or even that you're a bit annoyed. Then you have the slow, drawn out, all right, which usually means you're thinking about it or maybe you're skeptical. It's almost like a secret code. The person listening isn't just hearing the word, they're reading your mood. That's why it's such a powerful tool for people who want to be polite but still hint at how they're actually feeling.
Okay, so my next question is, can alright show approval?
It definitely can. When you use it to show approval, it's like giving a verbal thumbs up. It's not always a rave review, but it's a clear signal that you're happy with the way things are going or that the result is what you expected. For example, if you're showing someone a drawing you've worked on and they say, all right, this looks great. That all right is acting as a stamp of approval. It's shifting from just meaning acceptable to meaning impressive or correct. It's a great way to validate someone's work or ideas without being overly formal. Does that give you enough detail for that part of the video?
Uh, but my next question is, can we say alright every time in every question or answer?
I wouldn't recommend it. If you use it in every single sentence, it starts to sound like a filler word. Kind of like how some people say or like way too much. It loses its meaning and can make the conversation feel a bit repetitive or flat. Plus, depending on the situation, all right might be too casual. If you're in a job interview or speaking to someone in a very formal setting, using all right as your only way to agree might come across as a bit too laid back or even disinterested. In those
Okay,
cases, you'd want to use something more professional, like certainly, absolutely, or I agree.
so
It's all
it
about
can be
choosing the right
negative.
tool. It can definitely take on a negative spin. Usually it's not a bad word on its own, but it becomes negative through the context or the tone. For example, if someone tells you a long story and you just respond with a flat, short, all right, it can come across as dismissive, like you're not really listening or you just want them to stop talking. Or if you're describing exactly. When you say something was all right with a little pause before it, um, you're basically saying it wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't great. It's like the lukewarm water of adjectives. It's not hot, it's not cold, it's just there. It's a way of being polite when you didn't actually love something but don't want to be mean about it.
Okay, so my next question is, if I want to, what did you learn about it?
I've learned that all right is one of those fascinating little words that does a massive amount of heavy lifting in English. It's more than just a word, it's a social tool. I love how it can be a bridge between two people agreeing on a plan, a way to check if someone is safe, or even a polite mask for when you're not actually that impressed. The most interesting part to me is how it completely transforms based on a tiny shift in tone. It's basically a masterclass in how human emotion and social nuance work in a language. It's really cool that you're exploring this for your podcast because it shows that even the simplest words we use every day have these hidden layers of meaning. You're very welcome.
And
Do
I
you think that
also
gives you
learned
enough?
so much things, and thank you for giving me that much knowledge. So thank you so much everyone for listening us, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So मिलते हैं किसी नेक्स्ट वीडियो में किसी और टॉपिक के साथ. Till then, peace out. अल्लाह हाफिज़.